Okay. So just sharing about GoPro and if there's any way that you can put it into your budget for next year. I did order tickets because everybody that was there and stayed in, that I was staying with immediately said they wanted to come back and they wanted to bring people with them. So if you're interested in attending, it's $350, and you would need to at least, when I have to pay for it, I'll need to get a check from you. I could hold it for a few months, but not that many, because I don't want to get, have some tickets at the end, that I'm trying to sell. But it was well worth it. It's 3 days of amazing training. You're exposed to most of the people, not all of the people that are on stage, but many of them are 7-digit income earners in network marketing. And it's a no recruiting zone. You're not allowed to have any logo items. You're not allowed to tell people what company you're in. One person put some brochures in the bathroom and she was asked to leave. So it's a very safe place to be. You can feel comfortable having people on your team come and they're not going.
What are the dates next year?
It's November 16th through the 18th. So it's the week before Thanksgiving, which hopefully will be better. And I know, Dana, for you, it's always hard because you've got those.
That's better for me.
Yeah, it's better for me too. So I'm glad for it. But one of the first speakers that I just wanted to share this simple concept that she shared that I thought was so remarkable. And you can probably Google her and get some additional training from her. Her name is Mel, M-E-L Robbins, and I had never heard of her. In fact, I even asked someone, I think, is she related to Tony Robbins? Who is this person? And then we got the book and I was able to read about her. But she turned her life around from this one concept that she teaches. And her life was not going in a very good place. And she actually shared with us that 100 million people, that's 1/3 of our population in the United States, they feel stuck. And they, when you get a really good idea, sometimes you get an idea, like an intuitive feeling, something pops into your head that you should go introduce yourself to that person, or you should call someone, or just something that that just comes into your mind that you should do. And she kind of gave us a rule, because she said, what happens if you don't act on that within 5 seconds, your brain will take over and start talking you out of it. So no matter what you do, whether you just start walking towards that person that you want to go introduce yourself, the idea is that that's a person you need to get to know. She looks like someone that I would want to meet. And then if you wait just those 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then that time frame, you're going to talk yourself out. Your brain's going to start talking you out. Oh, wow, you don't look your very best today. She'll probably think you're really strange or aggressive or whatever, So you just talk yourself out of it. So the idea was this 5-second rule. And she says it's the only rule you need for productivity. Because really, we all know, right? The answers for us are within us and around us. So when we get those thoughts, it's not by chance. It's our inner guidance system telling us what would be best, what we need to do. And a lot of times it will take effort. because like she said, you're never going to feel like it. You're never going to actually feel like doing the idea that comes into your head. And your brain will talk you out of it. So the minute that you think of what you should do, then you want to act in that 5 seconds. And some of the other things she said everyday decisions are usually made by fear and doubt. Why? Because within that 5 seconds, all these ideas come into your head that talk you out of it, that are based on fear and doubt. And so she says you can take control of in that 5 seconds at a time. And then she said after she discovered this, she realized in her studies, because there's so much now brain technology, as you know, she discovered that it's actually called metacognition, and they've proven it scientifically. So that 5-second hesitation is what's holding you back from confidence and control. So just whenever you have a decision or an idea comes into your head, step into it, step toward it, whatever that step looks like, whether it's physically taking a step or it's grabbing paper and pencil and writing it down, or, pulling up that person's email and sending that email you've been inspired to send. But most of us, we feel overwhelmed and we just blow it off. And so this is it's simple, but it can, it's kind of annoying. But if she said, just do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then act. So she talked about a lot of examples of how she had used it, just when people who experience panic and anxiety, if they listen to it, it's really just worry getting out of control. It's negative goal setting, getting out of control. So she says you want to have an anchor thought of your dreams. So what is the dream that you have? That if you take action on this idea that's popped into your head, if you contact that person, if you reach out in the way that you've been inspired, that inner guidance system is your connection to inspiration, that thought coming into your head. If it's one that you feel could move you forward when you first have that thought, that's coming from divine source. So have an anchor thought of, if you could take a picture of you in your mind of where your goals will take you, a feeling that you'll have when you get there. Think of something that you could anchor to your dreams and have that visually that you can pull up so that it gives you the courage. And let's see, is she the one that did the definition of courage? Yes. Kaur, I don't remember if she said this, but that root word is heart. And so COUR, it's a form of a Latin word, I think, that means heart. So it's taking heart. And when you get those intuitive feelings, those are coming, you might say, from your heart. And another speaker told us that your heart begins to beat before you have a brain to direct it. So the embryonic person is their heart beats first. It beats without being told by the brain. And I'd heard that before in a natural healing seminar that I went to, where on a cellular level, it's like different parts of your body have its own brain that causes things to happen. So just the miracle of that. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like you are letting yourself being talked out of it, immediately anchor your thought on your dreams whatever that anchor thought might be for you. She talked about 1,200 people in nursing homes, and they asked them, what is the one thing that they would change about their life? And they said they wished that they would not have worried or doubted themselves so much, and they would have done more. So it's kind of pushing back those thoughts, that negative thoughts that come up that might hold you back. And then, the story of the beginning of Starbucks and how many times he went, the founder, and I'm trying to remember his name. I didn't write it down, but he went to, I guess she didn't really tell that story. She told a different story about Starbucks, but how many times he was working for a coffee company and he had this idea and he wanted to start his own, and he wanted it to be like his anchor picture was when he was in Europe and he saw how the population of the city, it kind of revolved around the people gathering together for a cup of coffee, and families would come to these coffee shops before they went out for the evening, before they went to a movie or whatever, and couples would, and rather than bars, their hangouts were these coffee shops. So he kind of had envisioned that for America, and that would have been like his anchor point. But one of the young men in his employ in his first shop, their business was really waning, and he had this idea of, what if he added milk to it? What if he added milk to the coffee? And he got a blender. His idea was to get a blender. He got the blender, he added the milk, and it was the beginning of lattes. And we know what's happened with that. So, but if he had let himself be talked out of it, because he's just an employee. He wasn't like an owner or anything, but he tried it. Yeah. He tried it once. He let him taste it, asked him, want to do this? He said, yeah, let's go for it. Let's try it. And it totally turned things around for them. So what ideas are coming into your head that if you took action within that 5 seconds and moved that forward, what would it do for you? How could it turn around your business? How could it get you unstuck? And then she told about Rosa Parks sitting on the bus, and used that as an example of when she was asked to leave. She didn't. She continued to sit there. She obviously didn't let fear and worry and doubt hold her back from what she had made that decision. So you kind of have to make that decision for yourself. And we know what that triggered, not just for her and for the whole African American population, but for the world, what she did to awaken people to the injustices. So our instinct is, those instinctive ideas that if we can act within that 5 seconds, if we can count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, she's had people who were ready to take their lives, and they remembered this, and they counted the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they didn't jump. And she had all these testimonials that she shared. So, if you can put this into place in the next few days of just paying attention to those ideas, because there's lots of things that can make you feel overwhelmed this time of year, especially as women. You're preparing for holidays and family. You've got, a lot going on with your business, a lot going on in your personal life, your community life. There's all kinds of events and parties and things that you have to be a part of. So instead of having that overwhelm, blow out those great ideas that you are being given to guide you to where you want to be. Because another thing that was said more than once by, especially I think twice on the women's panel, those speakers, is that, and you've heard it before, God doesn't give you a dream without giving you a path to achieve it. And truly, you know, usually those dreams are in some way connected to your purpose. The person that was the MC, and I remember last year watching the live stream and thinking he was so over the top. But it's really kind of fun to be in the room with him, with his energy. His first name's Curtis. I don't remember his last name at the moment, but he always would have these really inspiring quotes in between. And I only caught part of this, but he said that George Washington Carver said, and this is just part of the quote, "How much can I do by living?" And Curtis went on to say that the money that you earn is actually the measuring stick of how many people you have touched. So those ideas that come into your head, those are opportunities for you to touch other people's lives and to touch your own life. You're the number one coach for you. So, Karen, do you have anything you want to add from any of just your experience of being at GoPro, or, you know, what kind of stands out to you as something that you definitely want to incorporate into your life and business?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes, you're loud and clear.
Okay. So Ian Pritchard did a fabulous job. He had touched on it on the panel, the millennial panel that he was on. He quickly touched on intention. But then on Sunday, when we just got together as Arvon, he did 45 minutes in talking about intention in all different areas of our business. And that was really impressive, because it really is our intention of how we, how we go about our day, how we plan our day, how we plan our calendar, how we go out and just kind of are out doing our day. Are we going out and looking for people to join our business in a casual way, or are we going out with intention to have conversations and to ask good questions to find out if the person that you're speaking to is a potential prospect? So by asking very good questions, you actually are being intentional with looking for prospects. But even beyond that, you need to be intentional with filling your calendar and actually having appointments. And by having those appointments, you then are intentional with the conversations that you have with these people. So it's just, he did 10 points. I mean, I'm driving right now, so I can't, I'm not recalling all of them, but it was just the whole concept of being intentional with how you dress. And you don't have to dress like anybody else, but you be authentic to yourself, but yet be intentional with how you present yourself. So just in every aspect of your life, he's just really, really clear that you need to be intentional with whatever it is that you're looking to achieve. The other concept was about how we're just, in general, people don't think big, that we think small, and we really need to start thinking bigger, because so much as possible. I think Eric Worre, I know other people touched on that.
Mhm.
I think that was another thread, but Eric Worre really, I think, drove that home on Saturday night after Rita spoke.
And
And
he did a great job all the way through. But and also just a reminder to all of you to go back to the October, whatever the first day of the month. I think it was actually maybe could have been October 1st when Ian Pritchard did his intention training for us, and it'll mean more to you now, just even having heard him, the Karen, and then it'll mean more to all of you having heard Karen. So listen to it again. And because we're never in the same place when we hear an idea. And so the same idea repeats in our life so that we can learn it at a deeper level. And he did, that's what his training was on, was
right.
intention. So pull that up and listen to that again.
Yeah. Oh goodness. I was just rattling everything off when I was talking to Ellen. Do you remember anything else that I was saying? No. So it was intention. The 5-second rule I absolutely love.
Well, I think that's
A
good.
lot of it was heart, like moving ourselves into our heart, like really, really, really having a servant heart, like and making it about them, not making it about you. When you're having a conversation, or when you're doing a presentation, or when you're asking, like if we're asking, if we're in fear, like if we're in fear or doubt when we're talking to somebody or thinking about talking to somebody and holding back, we're making it about ourselves and not about them. And what we really want to be doing is making it about them. And then we're in a place of being a servant and offering a gift. So that was another one I thought was really powerful.
Awesome. And you know, any one of these, if you just take time to really focus on it, but all of these are so important. And so think in terms of November 16th to the 18th, and whether or not that's something that you could save for if you commit to being there next year. It was really fun to be there and have, you know, some of our team, our sisterhood from Nation and Promoted Nations. I mean, people came from all over. Both Lynn Mattern and Lisa Barron came all the way from Australia. And I know that they both felt it was worth every single minute and penny that they spent. So, and I felt that way too. I loved it. I loved that we were all able to be together, and it would be so fun. A quick reminder too that there's only 225 seats left at GTC, and then they're sold out. So if you have not registered, it's the end of the year. You're going to be able to write it off, that registration, and you know, if you get the inclination that and the inspiration to do it, do it. Don't wait don't let that 5-second gobble you up, gobble that idea up. Get on it, because you know that's this. When you're in a group of that kind of energy, and we were there with over 16,000 people who are in our industry, who really get it, that this is the way to have, you know, the lifestyle you want, and to be able to serve others, and just that element. And you get that at GTC as well. So if you have anyone on your team that has not registered yet that you want to get them, please make sure that you get them to go in and register. I have a feeling they'll take you know, because there's always a 10% cancellation on anything, it seems like you do. So they may do more, but I would get them in right away. That's not very many people left. And especially when we think of all the new people that we have that will be joining. So get that done. Karen, thank you so much for sharing. And we'll have you do more. When you have a chance to study your through your notes and really look at what you would like to share, one of the things that will help you retain what you've learned is to teach it. So, you know, pulling out your notes and teaching from it, even if you just want to record it, and then we'll post recordings of it, because then it, not only do you retain it, but then people that may not have access to the replay or any of that you'll be serving them as well. So, and even if we all shared the same idea, there would be different insights that we would each have to share. So thanks so much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Phoebe.
Because it was a gift to be out there with you. Thank you.
And Karen she is such a fabulous leader. She's the example of the servant heart. You know, always, you know, caring about others and putting herself out to make sure that we were all comfortable, we all stayed together. And so it was really a wonderful opportunity to be with her and to witness the greatness I've always known, but to see it in action. And so thank you again, Karen, for all you did for all of us.
Thank you.
Appreciate every single one of you and look forward to similar opportunities with you. So go create that, whatever that ideas have come into your head, create a great day. If you're going to bed, sleep well and get up and make tomorrow that great day. So love you all.
Love you too.